going to take time. There's a lot of desperation out there. When people are desperate and they don't have much else going on in their life, they form these kind of cohorts, which can be really dysfunctional. That's when you get extra drug dealing, extra acts of violence, and so on. It's a part of society which is the most tragic part. And there are individuals that end up as collateral damage, and we've seen some of that.
You mentioned guns, and a lot of guns have been involved in the violence that we're seeing on that side. What specifically do you think could be done in that manner? We know that in the past you've done the gun buyback program. Is that something you look to expand or do more of? And what specifically could you think help in this situation?
Yes. So I've asked our guys to do quarterly gun buybacks. Usually we've gotten about 500 guns. Usually it includes semi-automatic weapons and a lot of ghost guns. We've had machine guns come in. We give grocery cards, so it's guns for groceries, and that's always good. If people have young kids that can help them, we can get them the food they need. Also, it's a pretty much no questions asked situation. We just take the guns and hope that we're going to get less violence. So that's going to definitely happen. Now on ghost guns, which we've moved legislation, and special thanks to, say, Carl Rhodes and Dave Tarnas, who are the judiciary chairs, those bills have been great. We've now seen other ways that people get around them. Like people have been using 3D printers to print ghost guns. We're going to be cracking down on that quite a lot. And of course, we're going to seize those kind of illegal guns. I want people who are professionals to be able to have their guns and people who go through the proper training. But obviously it doesn't work well enough because last year, the first year of our term, we saw a young woman take a bullet to the head when she was just standing with friends. I think it was gang related. Then we've seen these acts of violence. And the fact that they're happening in the West Side, I think that it's kind of been like a combustible situation. Homelessness surge, lack of job opportunities and life opportunities, young people feeling that they didn't have any hope, and then these acts break out. So we all have to chip in as a community. We have to give more opportunities for people. Some of the things that I'm really focused on as a governor are not specific to the violence, but they're meant to stop violence. For example, getting much better wages for people so that they don't get into desperate situations, so they don't get near divorce and have their family wrecked and feel desperate. That's when people commit self-harm. That's when people commit violence against others when they're frustrated. So wages helps with violence. Better education helps because people have better opportunities. There's a lot of other things that I believe personally we can do. Getting people access to healthcare, make sure everyone has healthcare so they don't go bankrupt. Make sure everyone has access to mental health care if they're feeling like they might crack. That's what we probably saw with that gentleman who prepared to attack former President Trump again. That guy was from the mainland, but then he came and lived in Hawaii for a while, and he appeared, based on what we've heard, to be unstable. We want to get someone like that care so that they don't ever do something terrible, because it's terrible to commit political violence.
I'm sort of hearing